His next jump was anticipated to be one of the city's greatest spectacles ever. However, it would turn out to be one of the greatest sports catastrophes for the ages. For legendsoffaith.org, I'm Rob Cutter. Robert grew up in Butte, Montana, a mining town situated in the Silver Bowl Creek Valley, high in the Rocky Mountains on the Continental Divide. He was raised by his grandparents from an early age. His penchant for mischief was evident from a young age. Whether it was getting into fistfights at school or skipping classes, he was always pushing the boundaries. Robert's rebellious spirit only intensified as he grew older, leading to a string of run-ins with the law, from petty crimes like theft to more serious offenses like armed robbery. He dropped out of high school in his sophomore year and went to work for the local copper mine. But his restless spirit yearned for something more. One day, while working at the mine, he had an adventure streak and decided to do a wheelie on the earth mover he was operating. Everything was going fine until he lost control and drove it into the main power line, leaving the city without electricity for several hours. That was Robert's last day working at the mine. When the weekends rolled around, Robert would head to the racetracks and watch all the various car races. He was inspired to be more adventurous, just like those drivers were. Robert began to participate in rodeos and ski jumping events in the area. When he got bored of that, he decided to enlist in the Army. After his stint in the military, he started a guide service, but that didn't work out, so he went to work for an insurance company as a salesman. Then he decided to move to Los Angeles, where he embarked on a journey that would make him a household name. While in LA, Robert started his own motorcycle stunt show, thrilling audiences with his death-defying jumps over various wooden boxes of snakes, lions, and even sharks. As his stunts grew more audacious, his fame spread even more. So did his reputation for rowdiness. Whether he was crashing a party, starting a brawl, or simply tearing through town on his motorcycle, he was always at the center of the action. He was quite the self-promoter, and his shows became more popular with every stunt he did. To put him over the top in the entertainment world, Robert was looking for something spectacular. Something big that would be the talk of generations to come. He wanted to showcase his motorcycle stunts, to make his name known like that of Elvis or Steve McQueen or even the Beatles. Robert launched an idea that would require him to rely on his sales skills to sell his next jump. He contacted the owner of a casino in Las Vegas, Nevada, to pitch his idea. After countless telephone calls to the casino, Robert had a date with destiny. His next jump was anticipated to be one of the city's greatest spectacles ever. However, it would turn out to be one of the greatest sports catastrophes for the ages. After months of preparation, the day had finally arrived. Robert's most dangerous jump to date was now just hours away. He kept eyeing those huge water fountains in front of Caesar's Palace. The moment had finally arrived. Robert got on his motorcycle and did a bunch of dry runs. He would run his motorcycle up the ramp and then back down. He did this a number of times before he was ready. Butterflies were dancing in his stomach as he anticipated what he had to do to clear the fountains. Thousands watched to witness the most daring motorcycle jump in motorcycle history. Robert took a deep breath, and off he went. He was climbing fast up that ramp. The crowds were going wild in anticipation for the big jump. He just cleared both fountains, and then the fans watched in horror what was about to happen next. Robert missed the other side of the ramp by inches, causing him to lose control of his motorcycle and cartwheeling to a sudden stop at the bottom of the ramp. His injuries were horrendous. Broken hips, legs, arms, head injuries, and even a concussion. He was in a coma for 30 days and required months and months of rehab at the hospital. Even though the jump in front of Caesar's palace was a calamity failure, his fame and fortune grew even more. Robert continued with motorcycle jumps, entertaining folks all over the world. His shows became even more daring, and his injuries even more pronounced. But amidst the roar of the crowd, Robert felt an emptiness, a void that fame and fortune could not fill. Robert's search for meaning led him to a profound encounter with faith. While in a hotel room in Daytona, Florida, years later, everything changed for him. His life changed dramatically. He found Jesus. As he tried to understand what happened, he found peace and forgiveness for the first time. Supported by his wife and family on his newfound faith, Robert immersed himself in Scripture and was baptized, finding solace and strength in the teachings of the Bible. His faith deepened as he read the Word, realizing that his past pursuits of fame and fortune were hollow compared to the richness of life lived in service to the Lord. Renowned as Evel Knievel, Robert Knievel embraced Christianity later in life, fervently sharing his faith whenever possible. Despite enduring numerous bone-crushing jumps, he ultimately discovered his healing and deep serenity through his faith. For more stories like this and for ways to donate, visit us at legendsoffaith.org.